it's Eva here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to a brand new Sims 4 speed build. And today we are building a modern New York townhouse, which I'm so excited to show you because I absolutely love it. I'm actually obsessed with it. So I was in the mood to build something on a smaller lot because I've built a huge penthouse last week and that was just, I don't know, big lots can be really overwhelming sometimes. So I was like, I'm in the mood for a 20 by 15 or something like that. But as per usual, this build was not any quicker or smaller than anything else I ever built. It still took me the same amount of time to actually furnish this building, which was around 12 hours. So yeah, for a small build, it was a lot of effort, but I'm loving every single bit of it. I say this every single time I do a small build. I'm like, I really enjoy building on smaller lots just because I feel like it kind of gives you a direction. You're not as free to kind of build wherever you want, whatever you want, but you're like more restricted and you have to make do with very little space. And I find that for floor plans specifically, I find that really interesting. So yeah, I had an absolute blast. The reason why I went for a New York townhouse is because I've been recently watching a TV show that is called $1 Million Listing in New York. So it's basically a real estate show where you watch real estate agents sell their clients' apartments and townhouses in New York and Brooklyn and around that area, and it just really inspired me for this style. I've been meaning to do like a New York townhouse for a while. I just really love this combination of the brick and the kind of industrial details of a lot of those townhouses, and at the same time it's really modern and sleek. Like the interior is usually very like ultra modern and very elegant, very luxurious, very minimalistic as well, which is right up my alley. So I kind of combined the two. I wouldn't say like the exterior is fully industrial. It has some industrial elements, but mostly it's modern. And one thing that I really love about these townhouses, and that's not just in New York, that's also in London, I really love when it's like an older kind of building or an industrial building that then has a modern extension. And that's why I created this really cool like industrial glassy bit that's kind of protruding from the house. That's usually it is in the back, but for thumbnail and video purposes I obviously wanted that main feature to be in the front. I kind of made up the entire structure of this house and it's not really based on an original house or anything, which is why maybe some things might not be too realistic in terms of layout. But yeah, I really just wanted to be creative with it and I've been loving it, honestly. I really hope you enjoy this kind of style of a build, like the modern interior with the kind of industrial exterior combined. If you do, then please let me know by hitting that like button down below and also subscribing to my channel if you haven't already. That really supports me. Anyway, back to the build. So for the front bit that I was just talking about, I kind of made up my own glass windows and glass door in a way. I just wanted a lot of sunlight to like flow into the rooms. So it's like a really cool two-story loft moment. I wanted both of those floors to look like they're one big tall floor to make it actually... Oh, hello, there's a little kitty out there. Hello. Hi. Shy. Okay. Anyway, it's sliding off the roof. There's like a little roof in front of me. It's just slid off. Oh, I hope it's okay. Anyway, I made these windows using the door frame from Journey to Bar 2, which is like a massive doorway that comes in the debug section. It's phenomenal. Absolutely love that item. And in that, I placed some island living glass floors that I rotated with tool, so they kind of look like windows, and I rotated some to create like a door look. I know if you close the door it 100% wouldn't close properly because the gap is too big, but who cares? Not me for sure. But yeah, I really like how they turned out and I really love that it's kind of like the focal point of the entire house. The house itself is located in Canal Corner in Evergreen Harbour, which is a 20 by 15, I'm pretty sure. And we have 2 bedrooms, one of which is a kid's room with a toddler and a kid's bed. So it kind of is a 3-bed house. And we also have 3 bathrooms. And I also built a gym and a laundry room, which are located on the ground floor along with the garage and the kids' room. And the kids' room I'm actually really liking. It's kind kind of a safari / wildlife animal themed room. Compared to the rest of the house, it's colourful and very bold. The rest of the house is more black, white, a couple of wood tones, stuff like that. So it's very sleek and elegant. And the reason why I went for this colour scheme is just because for me it's like a very streamlined modern look that I really love. And a lot of the houses and flats that I saw in $1 Million Listing New York were kind of kept in this style, so I kind of wanted to stay true to that and maybe keep it a bit more minimalistic than most of the flats. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I really love it. And the exterior spots that I created, like I think there's 2 rooftop terraces and then 1 on the first floor, basically are still very modern, but a bit more cozy, especially the top. So around where the main bedroom is, I covered up in ivy just because I really wanted to kind of create a contrast to the harsh industrial bits by like warming up the space and giving a bit more warmer texture. So yeah, I really enjoy doing that. I love the ivy. So I combined a couple of ivy bits that I haven't really noticed exist because I rarely ever use the ivy. But there is the snowy escape ivy, which is really cool, and it kind of drapes from above. So I use that a lot. And then obviously the Discover University ivy that comes in the debug. I've been recently using the organized debug. I had it installed, but I just never used it because I was like, I know where everything is in the debug menu, blah, 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 blah. I don't. So I really needed it, and it's so handy to have all of the plants and everything in one section, and all of the little bits and bobs that go into one section all in one place. It makes it so much easier to build and find items, and I'm discovering things that I've never seen before, so I'm loving it. Some of my favorite bits and bobs that I created with Tool in this build are definitely the backsplash in the kitchen. I used a wall divider in like black glass from Snowy Escape, flipped it and made it kind of like a really cool modern backsplash. And then also one thing that I really liked building was the fireplace. So in the living room, I added like a fireplace that is a real functional fireplace. I basically just covered like the whole wall and parts of the fireplace with a eco lifestyle wall decoration that I then flipped around because the wall decorations in eco lifestyle have really nice backsides that look so modern and so sleek. And yeah, I flipped them around, created like a feature wall with the fireplace. It's still, like I said, functional. You can still click on it. Also in the kitchen, one thing that I really enjoyed was kind of like a wall of cupboards with some built-in ovens and microwaves and a wine fridge. Those are all not functional, but I just really enjoy doing some things for just aesthetics, just to make it a bit more realistic. And I am aware, by the way, that I forgot the fridge once again. I don't know what it is with fridges. I always keep forgetting to put fridges in my kitchens, but I did add one in the end into that kind of row of cupboards, so it's like a built-in fridge that is actually functional in there now. Also talking about tool mod, one feature that Twisted Nexie has recently incorporated in the tool, or better build and buy, I don't know which one, but you need both for the build mode tool. So the feature that he incorporated is that you can change the lighting and like dim lights in build mode, so you don't have to constantly swap to live mode, which is amazing, and I love it so much. Before I really didn't bother with it because it was just effort to constantly swap, but now you can just shift click a light and you can change the color and dim them really easily. I do this a lot in builds because sometimes when you use too many lights, the walls kind of light up in a really bright way and it just looks really unnatural. And also the default light is always kind of yellow, and I don't really love that yellow everywhere. Sometimes I just want it to be white light rather than yellow light. So yeah, I do change that a lot. At this point, Twisted Nexie actually needs a huge shout out for creating the tool mod, because if I didn't have that mod, my builds would be very different and I wouldn't feel as creative and as inspired to build as I am with this mod. So if you haven't tried it yet, I do recommend you do, because it's life-changing. Couldn't build without it anymore. And yeah, that is pretty much it for today's video. I could talk a lot longer, but the speed build is only so long. So obviously the tour is still coming up, which I'm excited for you guys to see. I always love doing the tour. It's so much fun. And yeah, I really hope you enjoy that. And like I said, do hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm already looking forward to seeing you again next Wednesday with a brand new speed build. Bye!